So, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the YesSHECan project. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be joined by the gorgeous Deborah. Hello, Deborah.
Hello, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'm like, it's a bit of a whirlwind because I've been driving just now, and then I'm just,
Oh,
it's nice. It's nice to be here.
it's lovely to have you. And I see that we're matching in the pink today, so it's
Oh
going
yeah.
to be a good day. So, for anybody who doesn't know you, could you just give me just a quick introduction? Because there's so much that I want to delve into. Just a brief overview about who you are and what you do, please.
Okay, so I'm Deborah Mitchell, and I began my sort of career so many years ago now, like 30 plus years ago. I was 18, and so I was a beautician.
Okay.
Uh, I managed to build up a skincare company and people really liked it. I got a lot of actresses and famous people wanting my products. And then all of a sudden I did get a few royalty as well.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
so my brand has developed as one of the leading skincare brands that are will actually improve skin rather than just mask any problems.
Amazing. So you touched upon there, Deborah, about celebrities. Also, another reason for you've literally just been on Lorraine like 3 weeks ago. It's insane. Congratulations, first of all, and
I'm
and
back there in a couple of weeks as well.
are you room for any more? So you've been talking about the fact that you've recently been awarded the Royal Warrant, which is like a pinch me moment for you, I bet. Could you just explain to people if they don't know, like what a Royal Warrant is and
So
how on earth that come about?
how amazing it was. I thought, well, this is great. I've got this emblem that says that the Queen loves my products.
Oh,
So pretty much that's it's sort of like, say, it's an endorsement in a way, but it's a royal endorsement and it's for centuries old, really. Uh,
wow.
so this is what's amazing about it. And I've had some I've made some great skincare products, and a lot of people have sort of tried to pinch either the name or the design or say
Wow.
that those products are theirs. And now it's accumulated to the fact that pretty much those products actually are the products that the royal family have always used.
Yeah.
And now they're giving me an endorsement to say,
Oh,
yes, they not only use them now, but they have had to have used them for many years before, as I would never have been able to allow it. So,
I
so
see.
they wouldn't allow me to have one. So basically, you can't actually like just think, oh yeah, here's a product, I'll have a warrant for it. You can't. It's time,
Okay.
and you actually can't buy time.
Yeah. It's a shame though, isn't it?
And
I think we would all want to do that for sure. How did you find yourself like in a position to be in contact with the royal family and working on their skincare with them? Like how did that come about? I saw on your interview with Lorraine, like, you got the phone call and you actually thought that it was from someone different.
it yeah, exactly. But I mean, being on the television, it's very difficult to actually explain the gravity of and the
Okay.
feeling that you gain from something like, I was brought up in a place where there was no possibility that I would be famous, well known, have a
Yeah.
skincare company. I would not have been that person that should have had this. So
Hmm.
Woodside was the place where I ended up living in my early years, like 6 years old plus.
Yeah.
And all of the people there and now, it's a hard place to come from. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? It's Like,
Yeah.
so when you start off from a hard place, your only value in yourself is 2 steps above at least.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
really from that hard place that I was at, to imagine that I would ever be in this situation is not actually possible to imagine. But
Yeah.
where I would love that the people listening to this, I do think if you can imagine just that little bit further, you will get there.
Yeah.
If you can't, just don't bother. You know what I mean? You've got to try, and
Hmm.
you've got to try and think about things that you are doing and the value that they have to others, as well
Yeah.
as the value that they are to you. And for me, the value in others was something that I always did love. And
Okay.
so my treatments, even when I trained in Telford College of Arts and Technology, um, I trained with normal people that didn't have like Love Island as their goals or various
Hmm.
things. We didn't have goals then. We didn't have these thought processes that if you can think about it, you can achieve it. They
Yes.
weren't there. Um, and so with me, from training, all I'd got was um, the training that I developed, and the training
Hmm.
was really, really good. So I trained to make skincare products. So
Right.
my
Okay.
training was a training that I made skincare products. It wasn't just a beauty therapy training. It was that specific training to make skincare products. Luckily,
Right.
me. And so my first job, when I didn't have any money, what did I do? I had to make the products. I couldn't do
Yeah.
anything else. And I mean, if you would have been one of my clients, I would have said, here, this is your facial, and you'd have loved it. And these are the products you're going to use, and don't deviate from it. You must use them, and you must use them till I see you again. And I'm giving you them free. And so that's what I did. And 2 weeks later, I'd come back to you for a treatment and you'd say, my skin's improved, this is this. And I'd tweak the formulas or improve whatever it was. And that's how it was. Now, really, if you think about it today, the same thing is happening to me, only I am visiting palaces.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, right, yeah, okay, I'll tweak that. I'm going to you've had the bee venom and it makes you look really young. So what can we do else? Let's do this, or let's do that, or let's internally give you the collagen drops to make the collagen in your skin improve and make you look even younger. And,
Hmm.
and I had to develop product ranges that were amazing straight away, because
Okay.
if I had a if I was a company, there's time with a company, they can do advertising, they can do whatever. My products have to work.
Yeah.
They work immediately on everybody, so everybody wants to rebuy them. There is a
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. So was skincare always your calling, Deborah? Like, because I know that you struggled with your own skin, didn't you, when you were younger?
Yeah. Now, the reason skincare was a calling for me was because I had a need. It
Yeah.
wasn't that skincare actually was a calling. It was that I had acne and I needed to fix my skin problem. I
Yeah.
still have just slightly two little pits there. I don't know whether you can see them. They're
No.
from acne scarring. And so
Oh,
I feel that if I'd have been able to deal with my acne even earlier, I wouldn't have had those two. So when I think about people and customers and even the children of the customers, I say,
yeah.
right, solve this problem now. Don't do this, don't do that. And I've got that experience now to help them.
Hmm. And I think that some of the best businesses always come from a need that we have ourselves, don't they?
I totally agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
completely agree. It's a
Because
requirement and a need and a value.
yeah, definitely. And I think when something comes from a need and it's something that we have experienced as women in particular that we wish that we'd have had during our journeys up until that point, I think because it's made with passion, it, it almost makes it even more special as a business and stand out, doesn't it?
I do think so, and the passion for really reaching the point of where you want to go to. It's like
Yeah,
really helping those people. That is a point where you want to go to.
yeah.
So making that choice to say, I want to help people. I mean, in
Mhm.
my company, I've not only helped the people that buy the products, that's one individual, but I also help spa directors and spa owners and
Okay.
people that own salons. And what that does is means that my reach can help further, that
Yeah.
I can help those in their business and their business success, because they do have a success when they use Heaven products. They do, because people love them and they want to buy them. But it also, those people can be given the right direction and the
Yes.
right help for their skin.
And then in turn, it's like a ripple effect, for their customers. And then not only their customers, their children, they will pass on this information to in the next generation.
And then
So,
make the stupid mistakes that I made. I mean, I was really, really young. I mean, 14, 15, even before I'd started doing it. I didn't have a clue. I thought toothpaste would dry up a spot.
yeah,
I didn't quite understand all of the things now. Teaching is very important, and I know we know more things now, and there is more things available. But some of
yeah.
the things, some of the people that are training people don't know anything themselves.
Interesting.
They really don't know. A trainer, a
Mhm.
qualified trainer, different from a TikTok or an Instagrammer. They
Yes, of
don't
course.
know how the skin works. They
Mhm.
only know, they'll say some really daft things, and you think, please don't do that. Please
Yeah.
don't.
So on that point, Deborah, because the way that skincare is currently in a kind of consumer society, there's always the latest thing coming out. A few years back, it was like snail juice or something, whatever it was. How do you manage to, with all of your experience, look at those kind of things and debunk those myths when it comes to, if people are saying, oh, this is amazing, this is amazing, I bet often you sit back and be like, well, that's not right, because you know it from the inside out.
Yeah, but it's very, very, there's certain things that are so key and fundamental.
Yeah.
Young girls, they the youngsters. So
Hmm.
that's I don't know what demographic you actually speak to, but there is always a daughter or
Yes.
someone of the demographic we're like talking to now. And it is important, because if we don't know that cleansing is super important for our skin, then they
Hmm.
won't. And so there's some strange things that can happen to your skin. If you don't cleanse, you will get something that looks like eczema, and it will take about 3 or 4 days. And
Right.
once you've got it, it will carry on looking worse and worse and worse and looking more like eczema. So there's
Hmm.
things like not cleaning around these areas here, not cleaning around these areas. They got all dry and flaky. And you think,
Yeah,
oh, moisturizer on those.
I do that.
Don't. Just cleanse. Super cleanse and cream. Don't cream. Super cleanse. The creaming incubates it. There's
Ah,
a bug that goes on the skin. It's got a round back but no bum. And it can't
oh
do it.
gosh.
And it explodes. And that's why, the dryness that you get,
Hmm.
the more dry you get, the more the bugs are exploding.
Oh my gosh, my face is just full of
Oh,
exploding bugs
it
right
really
now.
terrible. I'm going to tell everybody's going to probably listen to this, because I'm going to tell you something really terrible. Sleep in your eyes.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, when your eyes are closed, so like gumph in your eyes, maybe.
Dust or something like that?
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's not.
Oh no, don't. I will never sleep again.
It's animals. It's little animals in your eye.
What?
They are the same ones with little arch back with no bum.
Oh my God.
And when they're trying to help you, so when you go to sleep at night and you never cleansed your skin and cleaned around those eyes,
Hmm.
what they did is they went and ate all of the dirt that you left from not cleaning. And in the morning, they crystallized and they turned into this dry thing that you. So
Oh,
they were little bugs.
oh my gosh.
They are the same ones that go around here, and they're the same ones that in a person with menopause,
Yeah.
usually they get hot and they get them in creases that they shouldn't normally get.
Hmm.
So if I didn't clean my skin here, there's a dip there, so I would get a collection. Then I would get a collection and collection
Oh my
and a
gosh.
collection around there. So it's super cleaning your skin. So it's two cleansing with a cream, and then you can use a wash. A wash won't clean any greasy dirt.
Okay. So when people say like some of the older generation, they like swear by washing your face with soap and water. Is that a good thing to do if you obviously, use the products that you make as
So
well?
soap and water. Soap's a sulfonamide, and it's just an alkaline. So that's
Okay.
good because it dries the skin out, so ages your skin. So that's a soap.
Okay.
So you need to use a greasy cleansing cream, a creamy product. So I've got one called Hydro Cleansing Milk, which is amazing, and it's
Okay.
over greasy, and you can reapply it as a moisturizer after you've got the dirt off. So you do that, turn it round, get all the bugs round the eyes, wash it off with hot water, done, and you're all.
Okay.
You can go to bed at night and you put your moisturizer on, put your toner on, and put your moisturizer on. You're done. And
Yeah.
the more you do that, the younger your face will look. Just 3 simple steps.
Okay. I'm definitely going to have to get some of this. You do not even want to know what I have used as a skincare routine for probably the past 10 years. I take my makeup off with baby wipes.
Okay. Look, at least you take your makeup off.
Yeah.
So you've got plenty of space to move forward, haven't you?
Hmm.
So if you just take it off with baby wipes only, baby wipes rub around the dirt and just deposit it somewhere else.
Okay. Is that why? Because I've always thought, because I had a hysterectomy when I was 29, so I've been menopausal since then, so it was really early. And my skin is so different to how it was before. Like it's almost like it's gone back to teenager-ish in the past 8, 9 years, specifically around my chin. So I didn't know whether it was menopause related or actually just a crap level of skincare or both.
Right. Shall I send you some of my products?
No, I wasn't hinting.
Honestly,
I can see how horrified you are.
right. Blocked pores. Right.
Oh, okay.
Blocked pores. There is. Didn't need to say more. So what happens? Use a wipe. It takes the top off. But what
Yeah.
about the bottom underneath? So
Mhm.
those pores have got to get out somewhere. So your pores are struggling around here, and the more
Yeah.
they fill up, the more you want to touch them, and the more dirt you're going to gain.
Yes, of course. I've always got spots.
You shouldn't have spots.
Exactly. At
You've
like 40
got
years
blocked
of
pores.
age.
No, you've got blocked pores.
Okay.
I do want to address something. With menopause, you can get a few spots.
Okay.
Okay, but with not cleansing your skin properly, you can get a lot of spots.
Yeah.
So
And always in the same places. Like they go away for a while and then they come back and I'm just like, oh well, it must be cyclical. Because like when you're not in the menopause, it's kind of like, oh, if your period's due or whatever, then you'll get spots. I feel like it's really cyclical. It's really
you can still have cycles when you haven't got a menopause, which means when you
yeah.
don't have your period. Um, um, but you do need to do a good skincare routine, because
Mhm.
if you have got a few hormonal difficulties and you are not taking collagen, like my collagen drops are the best thing for spots. It stops all the spots.
Oh,
And
wow.
really brilliant. And it's
Mhm.
really brilliant on younger skins, on teenagers, and on older skin. But the best thing, the very best, is for perimenopause and menopause women, because
Okay.
it actually stops it. It mimics estrogen and it makes the skin amazing. So even if you aren't doing the best you can for your skin, it will still
Mhm.
improve it even further. And
Incredible.
also, may I ask you, do you lose your hair?
Not so much now. I did at the beginning, like the first few years into after the surgery, but not kind of so much at the moment, I don't think.
So that means that you're having hormone replacement that stabilized it.
Yes, yeah, I have to take HRT.
Well, if you weren't, you would have lost your hair, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
So on people that do lose their hair now, the collagen drops are perfect for stopping them losing the hair, but
Amazing.
they're really, really good for just bolstering that hormonal. You've got hormone replacement, it bolsters that hormone replacement. And
Mm.
people that they refuse to use it, they have to have our collagen drops. They
Yeah,
are the very best.
incredible. So, because of your vast knowledge, Deborah, and the way that you have a global brand, have you ever had a chance really to sit back and think how huge Heaven Skincare has become?
It has become huge, but it isn't as big as it I'd still like. The reason I've got everything I want, I'm not saying I want it to be bigger. What I want to do is teach more people how to look after themselves.
Yeah.
And I make sure that my skincare range is affordable. It's
Mhm.
affordable luxury. It is luxurious because we do use the very best ingredients, but
Yeah.
I do think it is totally important to actually make the best that you can of yourself. And there's always gifts of Christmas presents and
Mhm.
birthday presents and things like that. So and you can go from one birthday to one Christmas. So it doesn't mean that, I mean, yes, obviously, if you can't afford to eat, then obviously you can't afford to buy
Yeah.
skin. But there is ways to do things, and I do think it's like we do training sessions at our place where we train the best beauticians, and so
Amazing.
have a free facial with the best beautician, or even a facial where she's fully trained and she's just practicing a bit more, and it's only £20 or something like that. So
Wow.
companies out there or training schools out there where people can go and get facials and look after themselves at the least amount of money.
Mhm.
Not always. I mean, I know I charge quite a bit for my time, for doing a facial, and because I'm always like, obviously, I'm traveling here, there, and everywhere,
Of
so
course.
time is limited, and I do have to make my skincare products. So I sound like I'm apologising for how much I charge, but I don't charge. Um, but when somebody like we've got famous people or royalty, they ask for my services, I will still do everybody else as well. I will
Yeah.
make sure I can look after everybody. But something like being here today and being able to explain about skincare routines, I think that's
Mhm.
the thing that I can do with
Yeah,
time.
definitely. Well, obviously, just between me and you, I'm a business mentor anyway, so we could do some skill swaps here. So if you need some help to be able to be branching out and next enterprise in training, then yeah, let's get together afterwards and
Um,
have a chat about it. So for you touched upon bee venom, and I also saw in your Lorraine interview about nettle venom as well. So can you explain, like, first of all, how did you discover that this was a thing, and how did it come about, really?
so bee venom. So that was brought out first of all. So I I noticed, and I don't know whether you can see now, because can you see I can move here? I can move,
Yeah.
and there is some little tiny lines. So they were very, very deep. I was
Okay.
like 45 and looking in the mirror at the palace. I was actually sitting doing a treatment, and I thought, God, I need something for myself. So that night I went to sleep and thought about it. And I do believe that dreams do have an effect on helping us. So
Mhm.
ask a question before bed the next morning that the answer may mostly come to you, and it did to me.
I love that.
Um, bee venom was an idea to put into my creams, so that was that. So why it did come into me could have been because my sister kept bees. And so everything she'd said was in my brain and it all computed. Who knows? I like to think it was my sister
Yeah.
and what she did and kept keeping bees. I now keep bees myself, and they are wonderful creatures, and creatures that I would never want to harm. Hence,
Mhm.
my bee venom mask, although it makes the face look younger, it
Yeah.
does not harm a bee. So
Okay.
the bee is milked, it stings a pane of glass, the venom runs down, and it never stings anything again. So the bees don't die.
Oh, amazing.
So it's really good. Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
then straight away I looked younger. So that was it. So
Mhm.
basically, I looked younger. It went all over the world. It went in all the newspapers and the magazines. And straight away, everybody bought my product. Then people
Mhm.
started to develop this other range of products. And when they did that, obviously my product still sold, but they're
Mhm.
still sold. And they would phone us up and say, this product isn't working. I'd say, it should do. Should really make your face look really young
Yeah.
immediately, straight away, as soon as you apply. And they said, well, it doesn't. I said, what's the jar look like? And it was
Yeah.
a jar. And that was another brand. I'm not going to mention the brand. I'm not going to mention the brand, but it is actually in department stores now. And people
Wow.
go saying, can I buy Deborah Mitchell's product? And they would say, yes, here it is. And whether it had bee venom in it or not, I don't know. Uh,
Mhm.
but it certainly didn't have the abotoxin in it that I'd got in it,
Yeah.
in my products that I developed. So I couldn't do anything about it, and it cost me a lot. I took people to court and said, please don't use my name and things like
Oh.
that. But now I've got the Royal Warrant, so they can't do that. So it has taken till I'm nearly 60 now. That was
Mhm.
like 47 years old I was. And
Yeah.
that was the problem then. So
I'm not being funny, Deborah, but you are literally a walking advert for your own products right now. To be nearly 60 years old, I think everyone can see that they need to use what you're using.
well, so it was another show that I went on, and they said, look, is there anything you can make at home? So I collected some stinging nettles, because
Yeah.
stinging nettles and bee venom have a similar makeup.
Okay.
It's a thing. I'm dyslexic,
Mhm.
so it's a thing called metalin,
Yeah.
metalin, and the metalin is very similar in both sort of makeups,
Okay.
but in the bee venom and in the nettle. However, the nettle, I'd collect some nettles and you could sting your skin and it would work like bee venom, make a sting. You would be
Oh,
sore. So what I wanted to do was capture that. So it took me 5 years to learn how to do it.
oh,
5 years to keep going to bed every night and thinking, why can I not fix this? Why can I not get the metalin from that, actually the nettle, into the product? I couldn't get it in, and there was a reason. You can't get it wet. Nettles don't sting you when they're wet.
oh, of course, yeah.
They will not sting you. So basically, if it's raining, you don't get stung by a nettle.
Mhm.
And the reason is it's a tube, and the tube closes up when it's wet.
Right.
So I had to develop a way. So that's the netotoxin. and it's a way to actually deliver the metalin into the skin to make the skin look like it's been stung or feel like
Mhm.
stung when it actually hasn't been damaged. So, and
Gosh.
that's the trick to it. Anything you can do with your skin to make your skin look younger by developing collagen and elastin, which is why collagen is so important in the skin.
Yeah.
And so it was a vegan form of the bee venom. Now, what happens is if you use the bee venom till halfway through the pot and then you swap to the nettle, the
Mhm.
skin thinks it's been re-stung by something different. So we actually do use it quite often to swap between the two.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
cheaper? So the nettle is cheaper. The nettle venom is cheaper than the bee venom because the
Yeah.
bee venom is £27,000 for an ounce.
Whoa. Okay.
And the nettle venom just takes time.
Yeah.
Just takes time to make. The actual ingredient is not that expensive. It's just very difficult to actually formulate.
Mhm. But not only that though, I mean, I think a lot of people, talk about pricing and things like that and just see it as the end product. That's what they're paying for. But actually what you're paying for is years and years and years of experience, training, development, product ideas, innovation. There's so much that goes into making your products, isn't there anyway?
There is, I do agree with that, but our ingredients is what are what we charge on. We
Yeah,
don't we don't charge on all the development and everything like that, and we
I
don't
think you
have.
should.
I know we should, but we don't want to. Um we don't. I mean, what you buy is the actual ingredients.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the ingredients and the quality. If you buy something cheaper, that will be cheaper products and cheaper.
Mhm.
That's why there is variations on our website. Now
Yeah.
we do something called a subscription model.
Yeah.
And that means that you get the product cheaper and you can get it every 3 months cheaper. You don't have to pay post and packing and everything. Now, why we do that is if somebody is subscribed, we know we're going to have to post that product off.
Yeah.
We know we're going to have to buy that jar. So it really helps us in full
Mhm.
purchasing. So that actually is cheaper for us. So we pass that to the client. So
Yeah,
that's where the subscription model actually ends up giving somebody something that's of value for longer.
definitely. How how have you found, Deborah, running such a successful company whilst having dyslexia at the same time? Do you think it's helped you in a way? And is there something that you could say, well, actually, had I not have had dyslexia, I don't think I'd have been able to come up with this idea?
I'm really glad you said it like that because as you were talking, I was saying, God, it's been so difficult. And then you said something else, and I thought, well, actually, that actually was why it worked. And then you said something at the end. If I wasn't dyslexic, could I have come up with this idea? I couldn't.
Yeah.
So actually, no. If I wasn't dyslexic and I wasn't this strange personality format that I've got, um,
Strange. I don't think it was strange.
I don't think I could have done. Uh,
Mhm.
However, when I'm doing it, I think, God, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's really hard. I mean, I went to buy an eyeshadow the other day, and the girl said to me, which I loved, I could have kissed her, honestly.
Um,
She said, um, I'm dyslexic, can you talk slowly? And I loved it. And I thought, you know what? In my day, they would have just laughed me out the room.
yeah.
They did.
Mhm.
I just thought this is life. This is the right thing to be. And I actually repeated my name 3 times and loved every second of repeating it because I knew what she was going through. And I didn't say anything. I thought, God, you're here, nobody's laughing at you, nobody's saying
Mhm.
anything. they laughed and they said, you know, I'm daft, I'm this, I'm the other. You know, I'd apply for, I'd apply for my jars sometimes. There was bottles, I'd apply for them, like I'd phone them up and I'd say, my words didn't actually format anything that they expected to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So they said they wouldn't supply me. So I had to get other people to phone up.
Oh my goodness.
So because of being dyslexic, I've got particular dyslexia. Other
Mm-hmm.
people might have another sort. So
Yeah.
when I'm talking, I sound provincial. I sound like there is something slightly wrong with me, but my brain is working 24 million steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's working on everything I'm doing. Like I'm sitting here, I'm working on everything, and my whole brain is working harder than probably somebody without dyslexia.
Yeah.
And that happens. And so we do actually become more intelligent because our brain has to
Mm-hmm.
work too hard.
Yeah, 100%. And also it gives you almost that edge um, over other people, in a sense of you can probably formulate these things and come up with more ideas than other people can, just because your brain is wired slightly differently. It's almost like a superpower in a way.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a superpower with it. There's an embarrassment in one respect and a superpower
Oh,
in another respect. So you know, I'm not a person that would turn around and go, well, why couldn't you do that? Which sometimes your brain is so easily working on a format of something. I think, well, everybody can do that, can't they? But they obviously can't. Whereas other people that have laughed at me with my website, the spelling
oh,
or something like that, and put me down. I said, how could you have a business so successful when you've got spending? I had 27 awards from, they're called Stevie Awards. I got them in
mhm.
America, 27. Nobody's ever had 27 Stevie
Wow.
Awards in their life. And I got 27 from various different things within my company. And somebody came up and said, yeah, but you can't spell on your website, can you?
Oh my goodness.
So there is negatives as well as positives. So please don't think
Mhm.
that although I've got a superpower that I can come up with these amazing formulas that make people look younger than they'd have ever looked from one application of a skincare product, which I
Yeah,
think is a good thing, I
it is.
did get other things that are quite embarrassing and quite sort of you know, it's not particularly very nice. But I do feel that when I do go to the palace, I am valued for me as a person,
Definitely.
not for my dyslexia, not for anything else. And
Mhm.
they are the most beautiful people, and
Oh,
they value people that work hard or are
mhm.
kind or are this or that. They value all of these people.
Yeah, definitely. How do you remain like buoyant in the face of stuff like the negativity that you've just described?
Well, I think, but staying buoyant is difficult, isn't it? Staying
Yeah.
got to be difficult for anybody. Um, and but we must think to ourselves, even that few seconds of being bothered about something, it'll pass.
Yeah.
And just count, you know, if you're upset about something, you know, deeply upset about something, you've got to let time pass before you make a decision to act on whatever it is.
Yes, let those initial emotions go,
Mm.
because sometimes I think we make decisions based on our initial reaction to something, don't we? And I mean, especially if it's anger, it's probably not the best thing to do straight away.
I think sometimes anger is sort of okay. It's when you really implode in yourself that's bad.
Yeah.
Get very, very upset within yourself and you implode and go down further than you would like.
Hmm.
You know, it's okay going up and up and up, but you can't keep going up. Every day you can't go up. There has to
Yeah.
be days when you go down a bit to go back up again.
Yeah, exactly. Is it about appreciating the highs and the lows, isn't it? And Deborah, what would you say to that 17-year-old girl that was just starting out? What advice do you think you'd give to her now?
But don't expect it to happen. I tell you what, God. I really, I kept on thinking, yeah, okay, another year it'll be all right, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't give up. I can't give myself that advice because I kept on saying to myself, don't give up.
Okay.
Achievement is going to be there. It's just what I would say though is just be prepared to lose, work out what you're happy to lose,
Okay.
because you could lose time with somebody important,
Mhm.
could get everything you want at the end, and would that be important? You could lose marriages, and you could, you know, because
Yeah.
you can focus on so many things. And I have worked so hard that there was times when my marriage suffered, and
Yeah.
luckily I'm happily married still to that same person. But I
Mhm.
can't. It could have been very different, and I
Yeah.
would have been sitting here saying to you, "Oh, I've got a brilliant business now, and I do all of this, but I haven't got, you know, a home life."
Mhm.
So just work out what it is that you're prepared to lose before you start trying to get to the highest level that you're going to get to.
Yeah, definitely. Could, could you name, are you allowed to name names? Because I know that you've got a lot of celebrity connections, but have you had any unusual or unexpected requests from any celebrities for your products?
Um, well, every time, yes, I have. Every time a celebrity has has bought something or paid for something, or asked for a treatment, it's really exciting to get that that
Yeah.
thing, especially when you get a lot of celebrities on a regular basis. Uh,
Hmm.
it's really nice, and you think to yourself, where did these people come from?
Yeah.
It's like, chefs. Why would chefs love my products?
So I bet they haven't got block pores if they've been using your products. It's all this.
No, they haven't. No, and so, you know, that's really exciting. That so
Mhm.
it's just a chef, a very important chef that somebody, you know, it's like, but when you want to go to the Hand and Flowers, you can get a table really quickly.
Yeah, right. I bet.
So these are things that are really nice. And also, what I find is, um, they talk to each other. So one
Okay.
celebrity will talk to another celebrity.
Yeah.
And also, people will say, "Oh God, I'd love to meet so and so or whatever." And I think, well, I know them. You know them, you know. I know sort of intimately, sort of thing,
Mhm.
and you know more about them. I mean, one of the times I was invited to a red carpet event with Cillian Murphy,
Mhm.
one of my beauticians that worked with me. I took her along, and
Yeah.
to go on a red carpet with Cillian Murphy and sit there for the whole evening, eating food, being able to take pictures,
Yeah.
and having that kind of, um, thing that nobody would normally get.
Mhm.
It's really special to be able to share it with somebody you work with.
Of
And
course.
that is my brand. That is why, if I didn't have my skincare products, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Mhm.
And I've got
Definitely.
pictures, you know, and she's got those pictures as well, which is really nice.
Definitely. You see, because you're not just improving your own life in many ways. You're actually kind of bringing people along the journey with you, and I think that's what I see in you as you staying true to the roots of where you did come from. Yes, you're rubbing shoulders with celebrities and royalty and stuff, but you still remain the same down to earth and grounded person that you've always been.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to be any different, to be honest.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know how to be, um, anything other than I am.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't necessarily try to be anything any different either. I suppose I I want to share things with people.
Yeah.
So that's an easy thing for me. And
Oh,
that'll be shared, that meeting with somebody. Or a lot of my friends have come to the palace, and they've been
oh.
go to the palace, and I've been very lucky enough to take them, and a
Mhm.
lot of people have met the Queen and the King because of me, that they would
Oh,
never have met. So yeah, okay, that's a nice thing. I've
yeah.
enjoyed. Yeah.
Definitely. So a few like quick fire questions, Deborah. If you could use just one Heaven skincare product for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
I don't need to think about this one. There's a skincare product which was one of my first that I made, called Age Defiance, and I
Okay.
would say that every single person that I know that's ever used my product would always say the same. They cannot be without Age Defiance. It's a
Wow.
moisturizer that makes the skin look younger, and it makes it plump out. It isn't
Okay.
the bee venom. You could use the bee venom alongside it, but it's
Mhm.
Age Defiance. Stops spots, stops lines, stops pigmentation. You can use it around your eyes, and I absolutely love it. And I actually was, I shouldn't say this one actually, but when people, they say to me, and people that I've recently just been with, they've said to me, I can't do without that Age Defiance. I love it.
Amazing. Where is it available currently, other than your website, that people can literally just run out and go and buy it?
So they can run out and buy it. Usually um, their local beauty salon normally will stock that. We're in
Oh,
a lot of beauty salons. If you're a bit short of wondering where, if you want to
mhm.
pick it up, you can pick it up just from our website. Have a look, and your local beauty salon be there, or they'll drop it off quite close to you, or the
Amazing.
website, or we have sold in department stores. And so it is available in some department stores, but less so in department stores, and more in places where people can look after the skin, like beauty salons and spas.
Yeah.
So they can really say this is the right product for you,
Mhm.
which I like that more than picking up. All of my products are really good, but
Yeah.
if you pick up one product that's for eczema, then it'll take longer to make your skin look as young as one that was just perfectly for making your skin look younger.
Yeah, definitely. So if someone was to make a movie about your life so far, Deborah, what do you think it would be called?
Oh, do you know what? I don't know what a movie would be called, but um, I do have a book
Do
name.
you?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it, but I wanted to save it because I would have loved to have wrote a book, and it's The Beauty of Business,
Oh.
and it was the beauty of business rather than business of beauty, um,
Mhm.
because I feel like the business side of my my business has been my life.
Yeah.
But I want to write a book about all the warts and all the problems,
Mhm.
and things like that, and all the things that nobody would write about, all the bad things as well as the good things.
Yeah. Do you
The
think
well as yeah.
what does your schedule look like at the moment? Do you think that you could set some time like every week to just concentrate on just writing?
Do you know, that's a great. You must be a brilliant trainer or something. Actually, what does your skill? I would. That's a really good thing that you said. I probably could. You know, I
Yeah.
could. I could set some time aside to write something, yeah. And eventually it would turn into a book, wouldn't it, if I set some little bit of time aside, yeah.
Definitely, because I think so often what we do is because we are so busy constantly when we've got businesses, we kind of just plow ahead and think, oh, okay, well, that's going to go on the goals list. That's what I want to do maybe 2, 3 years' time. But there's nothing to stop us from being as strict with ourselves. Like, say, for example, we have met today, we had a meeting in the diary. and we're both here. So why don't we warrant ourselves and the things that we want to do the same commitment that we do to other people?
Yeah, diary it. Yeah.
Definitely. It's about blocking some of that time out. And I can almost guarantee you, I've literally just finished writing my first book. I can guarantee you, start writing it and you won't be able to stop yourself anyway.
Oh, thank you. That is really good.
Honestly. I expect to see it out this time next year.
Fantastic.
You've got to, honestly, I think the world needs to hear your story, because not only is it so inspirational, you are so skilled and so innovative and so knowledgeable about your industry, and I really think that it could help so many people.
See, I want my book to be the story of my life
Yeah,
rather than a book about, and I want to put all the nice things in of how to do or what I've thought about within a book, within a nice book, within
yeah,
like a storybook, as if you're reading a storybook, but not as if you're reading a textbook.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to read it. Get writing, Deborah.
I do I want some extra bits in it. I want some naughty bits in it too.
Okay, there's always room for that, isn't there?
Yeah.
So if there was anything that you've ever heard, like some crazy beauty ideas that you've thought were absolutely mental, can you think of any that you've looked at and you thought, what is that about?
Um, there is loads actually.
Is
Like crazy mental beauty ideas.
Mhm.
Um, there's a lot of talk. There's lots of my ideas about toothpaste at the moment,
Okay,
and that is a crazy mental beauty hack that doesn't work. Do
right.
not put toothpaste on a spot and expect it to go, because it won't.
Mhm.
Do not do that. Like, because they keep there's loads of things for toothpaste now to do this, that, and the other, and make your skin this, that, and the other. And it doesn't do
Yeah.
anything terrible. It's just
Mhm.
best for teeth. Yes, that's definitely the crazy hack. But please don't touch it.
Bless. Oh, Deborah, it's been absolutely wonderful to chat to you. Can you tell people whereabouts they can find out more about you and buy your wonderful products?
So the best place is to have a look at heavenskincare.com. Have a look
Mhm.
there, and it'll send you to all the right places all over the country, but also you can buy it from there as well.
Okay, amazing. And are you on social media and stuff for your
On at Heaven Skincare most of the time. So I'm Deborah.heaven mostly.
okay,
But it's at Heaven Skincare. So you'll see
brilliant.
anything. If you put down that, you'll see all of ours.
Okie doke. Well, I shall pop the link in the comments in the show notes. Yes, everybody head over to the website and buy yourself, especially some Age Defy first and foremost. Now it's got the Royal Warrant. Yeah, it's been wonderful. Thank you, Deborah, so much for your time.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.